Was it really a must? Not really. Did I die for doing it? Not really, just spend another hour. Hello and welcome back, fantasy cartographers. In this video we are going to finish our map, adding borders and compass and the title. We already have the compass and the border designed from the previous part of the tutorials, so this time I want to finish this map in two ways. In the first way I will relocate the compass, and on the second way I will change the canvas size of the map and show you that we are always free to make changes and some tips and tricks. In the previous map, this corner, so the quarter of this map, was our finished full map, and because of that the compass is there in the middle on the top. But right now that compass and location doesn't feel like it covers the whole map, and I'm checking. So if I were to put it right here, it could cover the whole map. It would feel more like it is there for the whole map. Let's take this guy. Because now the map is overall bigger, I'm going to make the compass slightly bigger. So the same thing goes for the N. I'm also gonna make it a bit bigger. This one, I need this boy. Yes. So I'm basically trying to balance the size of my text and compass to the overall size of the map. Do we need any adjustments? For this reason also, you can use the color planning phrase to also plan where the border and the compass goes, and at this step you can just place them. Sometimes I also do that. It generally avoids these overlappings of layers and stuff. Alright, what I'm doing right now, another tip, I am gonna overlap these windroses, but the one that has 8 arms is shorter, which allows me to also customize my windrows for the compass. So right now the main directions are longer. I just didn't want to make all of them as long as much, because then here this part gets a bit overcrowded, and also here it gets a bit overcrowded, so I wanted to balance it like that. Now I repositioned my compass. I think now it covers the map better. If I wanted to have a map key, I could place it maybe here on the right bottom, but I'm not gonna have it right now, because when you are using these kind of illustrations, it's already a bit obvious. This is a cave, like the titles are already there. But if I were to use this as a representative symbol for some repeating location, like an icon for all the pits, for example, and the pits are not labeled, then I would need to have a map key. So for in this case, we can get away with not having a map key, in my opinion, as long as you have the scale here. But if you want to add a map key, you can still do it. It might benefit if it's not going to kill your map. So what you can do, you can just show these are towns, these are settlements. All right, now that we are done with the compass, let's move to the border. I'm going to quickly do it and come back to you. So wait a minute. All right, finished the border. Congratulations, we actually finished the map. Again, we can add a map key, maybe somewhere here, like maybe you can create a frame here, like right here where I point, and have those icons there. I'm not gonna do that. I want to extend the map right now and show you that we are a bit more flexible. We don't have to stick with the first canvas size that we choose. So I want to congratulate you again for coming up all this way. The next stop is doing a little bit of adjustments and seeing how we can work better with the border, and if we want to add the map key, how could we do it? So let's jump right into it. So first thing first, what we can do, we can change the map size to, let's try this. We are not upscaling or anything, we are just making the map bigger. And what you could do is remove these, export, and crop the outside of the one that has no windroses, and overlap it on Photoshop or Canvas, so the outside part, like this part, will not have any lines or something. We can also do this like this, another possibility, something like this, using the land as another Border is also sometimes nice. And if I don't want that, I could also color the border to the darker version of my sea, like this. And because this map is a very small map, I didn't want to color the seas. Like, it's not gonna make a huge difference. Like, here and there, add a few strokes. But this is already enough. We are not trying to do a professional map. We are trying to practice. So if you want, give it a try. Try to keep your brushes big. Use a few shades like these, for example. You can add a bit more. And try to create a random depth of sea. And that's it. Like, sometimes around the coastlines you can make it a bit lighter, like this. Behind the compass you can also add some color to pop up the compass. Once we move to making like continental sizes or world maps, I will also show a few tricks here and there about coloring the oceans. Like right now, for the beginning, don't really worry much. Use some like themes, and if you want to paint it, just try to catch random depths around the coastlines. Sometimes make it lighter, sometimes make it darker, and you'll be fine. All right, congratulations again. The first map we made as a comparison. So we started by making this guy on the corner. Our frame was on the corners, on the sides, which also is there to show you the alternative. And now we moved to this map and we made it bigger. As you can see, like, the map key was also here before. It didn't have any label as map key, but we can flex some of the rules. I don't like, in my opinion, as long as it is understandable, as long as people understand what it is, the title of map key or having a frame is not really that much. Wow, you don't have this. Yes, if it was a real life cartography map, it would be a must, but we are doing fantasy cartography here. For fantasy cartography, major geography mistakes matter more than the title map key being there or not being there, because our goal is to reflect something in a way that is aesthetically pleasing and clear enough to read so people can navigate. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. This was our first map starting to fantasy cartography, and once we practiced, we made a few maps like this, learned a bit of the coloring and making the mountain ranges, etc. We moved here. We learned more about the bigger ranges, having bigger forests, like how to spread more forest, how to spread bigger mountain ranges, some coloring tips, having more biomes and being able to blend them, giving the feeling of the biomes properly with those kind of details, having points of interest and different types of labeling options, using monsters as a complementary element. And we also saw we can have some alternatives, like we can fill these parts, or we can also fill those parts with extra borders. That's also another option if you want to build more and more outside, like a layer by layer border. That's also possible. So we learned more about adding paths. We learned more about pretty much all the core things that I can give you. Again, if you want to have map key, I know some people are gonna be like, you don't have a map key. Yes, we could add it right here, just a small line. What would it show? It would show this, guys. Town. I don't mind not having it. Should I add it? Honestly, this is so easy. Here's a town. Here is a city. Here is a fort. Easy to understand. This is a pillar, and even the label is pillar. Another town on the desert. Different cultures. Already clear. We could also have the country names though. For that I agree. You know what? I'm gonna do that. So what I did, I wanted to also quickly add. You can add kingdoms names like this here and there around the, and you can also have it multiple, but generally one is enough. You can also make it much wider. You can also overlay that to some symbols. So now we know that this is Aknak Kingdom and all this territory belongs to them. Like, we understand it from the architecture of the settlements. The same thing goes for Gildan, and also here we have Gildan. So Gildan Kingdom covers all this area. It is easily trackable following the architecture again. And now we have a map key. So was it really a must? Not really. Did I die for doing it? Not really, just spend another hours. And while doing that, I also wanted to make a change on the border. So here I have a different kind, which is something that I for the first time doing. Like the border comes from here, turns around, like you can track it, goes all the way around the map, comes back, makes another circle so that I can put this here and leaves the map. So I think it's also nice. I can also remove these on Photoshop, which everybody can easily do. Just export, as I said, export the map without Windroses and overlay them in Photoshop and just delete the part where you have this. And yeah, that's it. So now we are completely done. I don't think I would be able to add anything more to this map, to be honest. Like, it has everything. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this tutorial helped you. If it did, make sure to like, support, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next videos. Bye. My mood is somewhere between extremely pissed and ashamed and a few more other feelings, because this is my third full recording of this episode.